So we got what I thought was a pretty good episode of One Piece, to be honest with you. And the reason for it is because having read the manga and going back to this content, it kind of foreshadows a lot now when it comes to like certain plot points in this arc. So we have a lot to talk about when it comes to this episode. Obviously, Luffy got KO'd in the previous episode by the Big Mom, and Nami and Luffy got trapped in, I guess, Monteur's prison book. So they're trapped in prison, and I guess they're taught in the Straw Hats, which may be the beginning of the Big Mom Pirates underestimating the Straw Hats, especially Luffy. So at the end of this episode, four of the five Straw Hats are on Whole Cake Island, or I should say six, technically speaking, because Sanji's still there, even though technically speaking, he's agreed to go through with the marriage with Pudding. So after that happens, he's no longer a Straw Hat. So technically speaking, four of the six Straw Hats are pretty much locked up at this point. Would you classify Carrot, even though it's foreshadowed that she may end up joining the crew? She's locked up alongside Chopper inside the Mirror World with Brûlée. So they're pretty much chained and shackled. But Chopper's got a plan to escape, and if you noticed, we already got a bunch of clones, reflections of Chopper and Carrot. So look to that to be a plot point pretty soon, actually. So that looks like it's going to get wrapped up. Chopper says it's been over a day since he used Monster Point, so he's going to go back into it again. He's chained and shackled. He can transform easily, which goes to show why didn't they use Kurosaki chains in the first place. I said this during the chapter. It made no sense. Brûlée kind of reveals, we're not going to do anything to you, Chopper, but we are going to boil Carrot alive like a rabbit over a stew. So I thought that was kind of funny. He says he's going to bust out the shackles, use Monster Point, and get out of there. So they have a plan, but right now they're trapped alongside Luffy and Nami, who are in the prison book right now. So technically speaking, the only one of the Straw Hats that's able to move around is Brook, and this is the beginning of Brook being the MVP of this arc. What happens next? So we have Brook's soul, and I guess the room where the poneglyphs are held. We have three in location. You have one of the road poneglyphs where it's been confirmed to be given to Big Mom by Jinbei when he came onto the island when we first saw him. We get a flashback of that, and I think Big Mom sent something on the lines. I don't know how to read the poneglyph, so why would she collect all these poneglyphs if she doesn't know how to read them? First of all, if you have somebody from Ohara, which I doubt, but do you have another method of translating deciphering the poneglyphs besides knowing about Nico Robin? I don't know. So that's interesting. Number two, they're looking to collect 9 of the 30 road poneglyphs, including the 4 road poneglyphs, which you need to become King of the Pirates. We know this from what we saw on Zou. Second road poneglyph that we've been introduced to. The first was on Zou. Now we've seen one on the Whole Cake, and we know one's under the possession of Kaido on Wano, which is something else to get hyped. According to what Tamago said, we actually get a brief description of how important they are. There's 2 ways of becoming the King of the Pirates. One is collecting the 9 road poneglyphs, Rio poneglyphs actually, and also the 4 road poneglyphs which you need. Big Mom is looking to become King of the Pirates, it seems, because that's why she's gathering all these poneglyphs. And we get introduced to the second Sweet Commander, or the second Sweet General, Smoothie, which we knew we would. Obviously, the cover page on the One Piece volume actually kind of gave away of certain characters in this arc when it comes to like color schemes. We saw this with the Vince Smokes. Their color schemes were actually revealed in the anime. So the same thing here. We get Smoothie with white hair, tanned, looks pretty good. Obviously, the part of the long leg tribe. So is Tamago, and Brook says there's something interesting. When he peered back to, I guess, Pedro, because Brook was eavesdropping in on all this information, so now he knows how valuable the poneglyphs are. On top of that, he said something on the lines of, I can sense how strong Smoothie is. So did he sense with the observation haki or something else? So that was interesting. So obviously we see Commander Smoothie, I guess Devil Fruit ability is juicing people, because she was juicing a girl and she shriveled up real quick. It reminds me of what happened with Crocodile. So that was kind of interesting. So she juices the victims and then drinks them. So that's kind of sick. On top of that, so it looks like Smoothie is going to be guarding the road poneglyph, but boy, wheels under the bus fall off pretty quick, and Brook's going to be the catalyst for it. So we get a conversation between Brook and Pedro. Pedro knows that Tamago is pretty much got beef with Pedro, since we know what happens. We don't really know what happens yet, but we know he's a poneglyph thief. Now here's the thing, okay, and I still got this in my mind. Knowing that Pedro's a poneglyph thief of poneglyphs, the reason why you want to steal poneglyphs is if you want to become king of the pirates, or you know somebody that wants to become king of the pirates. We don't know why he was there previously. We know that Peckhams was the reason why he escaped. He pleaded with Big Mom, and now he's back. Obviously, that's going to be resolved pretty soon as well with Tamago. Obviously, number one, because it's just typical foreshadow. Number two, because it's in the opening, if you noticed. So then we go over to, I guess, Big Mom, and I guess she's with the Vince Smokes. I guess giving her a grand tour of pretty much the animals that have been trapped inside the book, courtesy of Mondor. So we get a reference about some of the collection of Big Mom that has collected the animals she's collected with Mondor's prison book. One of them is a manicure from Impel Down. She mentioned the reference about the attack from Blackbeard. Another was a unicorn. Another was a griffin from, I guess, from the South Blue. And she mentions, obviously, a senator from Punk Hazard as well. We also got, when we saw one of the Big Mom's men come in, and actually, the first thing you noticed was the Vince Smokes, but then he says, oh, I was impressed by the Vince Smokes, even more so by Reiju and EGG, kind of like acknowledging the fact that they're two of the strongest. We already kind of knew that, but that was kind of confirmed. So she has a collection of animals, and Brule kind of said she wanted Chopper in that collection as well. So, by the way, these animals are still alive, so that could play a factor too. Once Mondor has been taken out of the picture, you could have the animals running around wildly. So, and boy, when Judge brought up the subject, I see a lot of races here, but I don't see any of the giants. And you look at Big Mom's expression; she gets pissed when Judge said that. She looked like she's gonna blow a gasket, but I guess she must have been. You haven't seen a giant yet, so kind of making up that the giants are here as well. I'm pretty sure it's gonna lead into something. In fact, it actually leads into next week's episode with a Dendamushi call between Luffy and Big Mom. Kind of ends with Big Mom on the Dendamushi calling like, "Yo, Mugiwara, it's been a long time. Remember what you said last time when you said you're gonna kick my ass? What happens now? What happens to that?" So he's gonna bring the entire crew, which brings up an interesting concept. What would happen if Zoro and the rest actually appeared on Whole Cake Island, which may mean we get a future conflict down the road after this arc. So, because right now Luffy's in a bad way. It took him 11 hours, well, most of the night to deal with Cracker, and only with the help of Nami did that happen. 2, he got wrecked by Sanji, literally wrecked, and he was still okay. He still has to put up somewhat of a fight against the Big Mom Pirates, but after that, he got decimated. So it's obvious Luffy's not at fault, and now he's talking about kicking Big Mom's ass right now in prison. Typical Luffy, but right now, the reality's got to be sinking in. No way, okay? Not right now. So unless Luffy gets power boost after he busts out of the prison, because we know for a fact he is. So that's going to be interesting. The Dendamushi call is going to be one of the most intense things about this arc. At least when it came to the manga, it did. So only in the anime can only imagine how the voice actor is going to be. Big Mom's like, yo. Luffy says, come right now, over here right now, I'm going to kick your ass. So obviously he's been trying to bust out there, get back to the place where he says he's going to meet Sanji. We start off the episode with Sanji saying, stay safe. So, and remember in the previous episode, he kind of negotiated to the Straw Hats, I guess to Big Mom to not kill the Straw Hats. So technically speaking, as long as Straw Hat Luffy doesn't cause a problem for Big Mom, Big Mom will keep her word. But it's Big Mom we're talking about here, so I don't know. So I thought it was a decent episode regardless. Brook, that's set to become the MVP, one of the MVPs of this arc. He's the only member of the Straw Hats, technically speaking, that's not captured yet. So definitely going to play a role after next week. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Like this review if you did appreciate that. Comment down what you thought about this episode. Subscribe to the channel for more One Piece. Catch you guys later. Bye.